Today we're talking about harvesting garlic. As we look at this garlic, you can see that there's a lot of browning that's gone on, and there's dieback of a number of the leaves of the garlic. You'll definitely want to harvest it when it has started to brown, but while there is still some green in some of your leaves. If you harvest too early, then you won't have maximized your bulb size. If you harvest too late, then you can actually have that bulb start to split and the cloves separate, and that outer layer that is the protective covering in your garlic that holds it together and lets it keep well will have gone away. So you need to time it right. For my growing zone, for my area, I always find the first week of July, thereabouts, is the right time. This looks like the garlic. I'm probably pushing it a little bit on the long side for harvesting. Now when you're harvesting garlic, the conventional wisdom, what most people will tell you, is that you should actually use a garden fork. And if, let's say, this is the garlic that you're wanting to harvest, this is the garlic you're wanting to harvest, you'd actually go in a little bit outside with that fork, dig down in, and then lift up with the prongs of that fork. And the reason that they are saying to do that is they don't want you to be pulling really hard on this, trying to get it out, have kind of the rough soil, and then you end up ripping off the top and leaving your garlic down below. Now, I do not follow conventional advice when I harvest my garlic. I actually pull it out from the top, shake off any of the excess dirt, and then let it dry out. Talking about the harvesting, you're going to want to pick a day when your soil is neither too wet nor too dry. If it is too dry of soil, then it can be very compact and hard to get your garlic out of it. If it's too wet, then it will end up really sticking to the bulb and you won't be able to get it off. To me, if anything, we're a little on the wet side here, but for the most part this is a pretty good place for it. You'll see that today is a very warm day, and I'm just setting out my garlic to dry here in the hot day. Now, you don't want to leave your garlic sitting out if it's going to rain, but on a nice hot day like today, this is perfect to really let the garlic dry out. After I've had it dry for a little bit, I'll generally stick it down in my basement, and I don't even necessarily let it cure for too long before doing that. The big key is you want to make sure that you store it in a way in your basement or wherever you're going to do it that it can stay dry and have reasonably good airflow around it so it doesn't end up rotting. You'll also want to do what you can to remove some of this soil from around your bulbs of garlic before it's storing. Now, many of you have likely seen garlic being stored by weaving the tops together. If you've seen that, you've likely seen a soft neck garlic variety. What I have here is a hard neck garlic variety that does grow out that big scape on the top, which means it has a hard central stem that really doesn't allow that weave as much. This would more crack off. And so you generally aren't going to weave your hard neck garlic varieties. So that's just a little bit of discussion about the garlic. The type I'm growing is a German white garlic, and you can see there's some varying bulb sizes that I get, but I'm pretty happy with it. I started it a couple years ago and have just been saving cloves to grow my own garlic here. So let's go ahead and harvest some more. So this here is an example that clearly shows I waited too long to harvest my garlic, and actually the outer part that runs up this stem I just pulled right off. You see those cloves exposed there? So this will not keep at all. So I will have to use this garlic right away. But that, as I said earlier, it looked like I probably was pushing too long, and I guess for this particular bowl of garlic, I went past the too long. And so if I had left it in there for a couple more days, these cloves would have actually split out themselves and probably tried to start their own little plants. But this is an example of why you should actually do it a little bit earlier than perhaps I am doing it. The rule of thumb that I have heard is that each one of these leaves actually represents a layer of the shell around your garlic. So as they die off, those are layers of the shell around your garlic that will die off. And if you get to a point where all of your leaves are brown, you have no shell around your garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, and we'll come back after I've got harvest. Now it's time to look at our total harvest. But before we look at that big stack, let's look at a couple other little stacks. I have here the bottoms of the garlics that I allowed to scape and flower. So if we look here, here are those flowers, and I will probably end up planting some of these bulbils. These garlics, which I grew from rounds. And as we talked about, they're mostly smaller little bulbs of garlic, except for this one, which obviously was grown from a larger round and thus gave me a good medium-sized garlic bulb. But here's the actual harvest of the garlic for this year. So 6 from the rounds, 7 that I let go to scape here. And then, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3. That is a really good one. That's probably my big one for the day. 31, 32.
$59 total bulbs of garlic there, plus 13 from the other, for a total of 72 bulbs of garlic. So how about you? Let me know in the comments below. Do you grow your own garlic? Do you have any tips? What's your favorite garlic variety? If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up below, and please remember to subscribe to our channel.